Oh, man. All right. Week 8 recap. Oh, Lord. Okay, so starting off Thursday night, Houston played Miami. They beat them 42-23. That was, well, Deshaun Watson played a hell of a game. We'll put it that way. Going into Sunday's game, Philadelphia and Jacksonville played at London. Philadelphia won 24-18. Carolina beat the crap out of Baltimore. Now, this one's kind of surprising to me. Carolina is a franchise that they're known for squeaking by. No matter how bad or good the team is, usually they just get by. They played some pretty bad teams up to this point. And they barely got by Philadelphia last week. Sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. So I didn't figure they was going to win this game, but they absolutely did. They was blowing Baltimore out at one point, and they ended up winning 36-21. You know what? I'll give them credit. I'm a believer now that Carolina is a decent team and they are in contention. But I also do believe that the Saints are going to end up putting them in their place like they did last year. I believe the Saints are a better football team. They've got a better defense and they've got a better offense. Cam Newton is kind of spotty. When he plays, he plays. When he doesn't, he doesn't. But I will give Carolina credit where it's due. Baltimore, in my opinion, is a decent football team, and they are competing in that division with Pittsburgh. And they beat Baltimore. So and they beat them pretty handily too, by 15. So I'll give Carolina where the credit's due. Hats off to you. I'm a believer now that Carolina is a decent team because this is the first good team that I've seen them beat. Even though I do think they beat somebody else in week 2 or something like that was fairly decent. Anyways, moving on, Chicago ended up beating the New York Jets 24-10. Cincinnati beat Tampa Bay 37-34. It looked like a blowout for a while. Tampa Bay came back. It just wasn't enough. Seattle beat Detroit 28-14. Kansas City beat Denver 30-23. Washington got by the New York Giants 20-13 in a division matchup. Another divisional matchup, Pittsburgh blew out Cleveland 33-18. The Colts ended up beating the Raiders 42-28. This game was pretty close until Derek Carr threw a pick, and then it just got way out of hand from there. I mean, it was a real back-and-forth game. It was a really good game, and Derek Carr made a bad decision, threw a pick, and then it just went downhill for Oakland at that point. Arizona beat San Francisco 18-15. And the Rams ended up getting past Green Bay, which I made the bold prediction, and I was a firm believer Green Bay was going to win this game. The Rams won by 2. Okay. So here's what happened. The LA Rams, it was going back and forth, touchdown for touchdown. And LA Rams kicked a field goal, and then something happened, and they went down and kicked another one. They didn't score a touchdown, so they were up by 6. And Green Bay went right back down and scored. And made it 27-26. And LA got it back. They went down and got another field goal. And made it 27-29. And they gave Aaron Rodgers 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Now, Sean McVay, it was like a 3rd and 13. Okay, here's what I don't understand. Your defense, number one, you're playing Green Bay. Green Bay's a blue-collar football team. They could beat anybody on any given Sunday. That's just who they are. They got a good coaching staff, and they got Aaron Rodgers. I get it. It's a 3rd and 13. You don't want to risk anything. You want to get your field goal. Maybe you don't trust Jared Goff that much. Maybe he had faith in his defense. But how do you have faith in your defense when they gave Aaron Rodgers 27 points already? And you're giving him the ball with 2 minutes and 5 seconds. They made the coaching call to go ahead and run it with Todd Gurley on a 3rd and 13. Why not try a screen or something? Go for the end zone. Go for the throat. That's why I think the Rams will not last in the playoffs, because they're kind of like Kansas City in 2016. They were really good, but they never went for the throat. They always went for the more convenient way of winning. So, I will take our field goal and trust our defense with all these points they're giving up. So when I seen they was kicking a field goal with 2 minutes and 5 seconds, I went, holy shit, Aaron Rodgers is going to get the ball. Nothing's going to stop him. He's got all the momentum from last drive. We're good. Until Ty Montgomery fumbled on the kickoff. Look, man, credit to the LA Rams. They're 8-0. I will admit I called them overrated, and I still think they kind of are. But that's clutch, man. That's clutch. I'll give them credit where it's due. The Rams definitely, they definitely clutched it out. They keep, people could say we're overrated, and I understand that. But the LA Rams are so much like Kansas City right now, it's unreal. Their defense isn't playing too great, but they keep finding ways to win. Their defense may not be causing a crap load of turnovers, but they're getting turnovers when it counts. Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and Drew Brees. The only way to keep those guys from winning the game on the last drive is to keep them off the field. And the Rams did just that, and that's how they won the football game. So, you can call it eating my crow, which I agree, I kind of am. I thought the Green Bay Packers were going to win this game, and especially with the 10-0 lead that they had at the beginning of the game, I also thought that they were going to win on the last drive of the game. But the point is, special teams came up clutch. They forced a fumble. Aaron Rodgers never even touched the field. Kudos to the Rams. Kudos to the Rams. I was wrong. I thought Green Bay was going to win. Now, when they play the Saints, I'm going to say the same thing. I think the Saints will win. I think they're a more rounded football team, if you will. If you look at the Rams right now, there's one major problem, and that's the fact that their defense is really struggling right now. And their offense is keeping up, but it's because of Todd Gurley. Jared Goff is good, I'll give him that. But he's not as good as Todd Gurley. Which, might I mention, nobody in the league is as good as Todd Gurley, especially not this season. So, once again, congratulations to the Rams, man. You pulled it out. They came up clutch with the turnover. As I said before, the only way to beat Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, is keep him off the field. And, obviously we let Tom Brady have the ball on the last drive of the game, and look where that got us. If Aaron Rodgers would have got the ball on the last drive of the game, I have no doubt Green Bay would have won this game. He had all the momentum in the world. He had just scored on the drive before that. He went right down the field. I had no doubt if Aaron Rodgers touched the ball on the last drive of the game, Rams would have got their first loss. But the point is they didn't, and the Rams special teams came up when they needed them to, and they forced a turnover. Congratulations to the Rams. They're 8-0. They're still undefeated. And they, in my opinion, they beat a good football team. Green Bay was 3-2-1 coming into this game. I treat them just like they weren't 3-2-1. Or were they? I don't know. We'll check that out in a minute. But either way, I see Green Bay the same way that I do, New Orleans and New England. They're just a blue-collar football team, and they're tough to beat anywhere. And then New England's playing Buffalo tomorrow night. As I said, that's probably going to be a slaughterhouse. So I'm not really going to go over that. That's just my opinion anyways. On the Green Bay's record, just for curiosity's sake, yeah, they were 3-2-1. They were 3-2-1 going into that game, and they played the Rams tough. So, like I said, credit to the Rams, man. They've been winning a lot of tight football games. They definitely surprised me this week. Like I said, they got a turnover when it counted. If Aaron Rodgers would have had the ball at the end of the game, I think it would have been different, but The fact of it is he didn't, and that's because of the Rams special teams. So, you know what? Good job. I'm happy for the fans. I'm glad they're winning. But I'm still going to be skeptical. But y'all are a good football team, no doubt. I'm not saying you guys are bad. I'm saying you guys might be a little overrated because I think the media gives them too much credit. But they are still a really good football team nonetheless. So the AFC West, we're going to do the AFC West before I get off of here. This was a huge week for us. The Chargers were on a bye week, so that gave us kind of a leg up. And not only that, we won, and it was a division game. Kansas City's at the top, 7-1, 4-0 at home, 3-1 on the road, 3-0 in the division, 6-1 in the AFC Conference. So, in other words, we have played. Man, that's what? That's because we played Denver twice. So that's 6 AFC Conference games. We have played almost half of the entire AFC we have played so far. And we still got more of the AFC on the schedule. So that's pretty good. Chargers are right underneath us at 5-2. They're 3-1 at home, 2-1 on the road, 1-1 in the division. That's a big difference maker right now because now we're 2 games up in the division. Conference play, they're 4-1, so they're 4-1 in the AFC. Their only loss being us. And then, of course, Denver's riding the pine down there, and so is Oakland. They're at the very bottom. Well, gosh, man. The Texans are 5-3. That's kind of surprising, but I don't think their division is that great. They got the 3-4 Titans, 3-5 Jaguars, 3-5 Colts. Nothing too impressive there. Redskins are 5-2 at the top of their division. Philadelphia's 4-4 underneath them. Chicago's still at the top of their division with 4-3. Oh, by the way, New Orleans beat Minnesota 30-20. So New Orleans is now 7-1. Or no, they're 6-1. Sorry, they had a bye week. That's a pretty interesting division, the NFC South. Saints are at the top at 6-1. Carolina's right behind them at 5-2. Tampa Bay and then Atlanta at 3-4. The Rams, of course, they're just running away with that division. The closest team underneath them is 4-3. Nobody's going to catch the Rams in that division. That's just a fact. They could win out the rest of the season, and they'd be lucky if they catch the Rams. Pittsburgh is now at the top of their division at 4-2-1. Cincinnati's underneath them at 5-3, and Baltimore's at 4-4. I do think Baltimore's played the tougher teams, but you know, who knows? Then the Browns are 2-5 underneath that. So the Dolphins are having a hard time keeping up with New England. New England's got to play tomorrow, so that'll probably give them a 2-game leg up on the division. So that's about it. You know, that's pretty much around the league. Hopefully our injuries get better, and next week we got to play Cleveland. So we'll see how that goes. I might do the Week 9 picks after this, actually. Yeah, we're going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to get to that. That's the end of this one.